Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining. So welcome to Edureka webinars. Now the topic of today's session is Google Data Studio. Now let's come back to our agenda and let's see what do we have for today's session. See, as part of your learning journey in today's session, you will understand what is Google Data Studio, the benefits of using this Data Studio, and the key features of this Data Studio. And then we'll have a quick hands-on. I'll give you a quick demonstration about the interface. So that's the overall idea of this session. And this program of GCP certification training program with Edureka follows a learning approach that's called as a structured learning approach. Here, as part of this learning approach, you will be learning in a hands-on manner, including the important and the relevant theoretical aspect. And all these things you will be learning in sync with the industry requirement and its application at the projects in order to help you to become industry ready professional in this Google Cloud platform. Here, as part of your certification learning journey with GCP certification training course, in the first module, you will learn about the quick introduction to this GCP, and second module is about managing the GCP. The third module is about virtual networks in GCP. The fourth module is security and identity fundamentals. And the fifth module is about the compute services in GCP. Sixth module is data storage services. Seventh module is how to architect with Google Kubernetes engine. And eighth module is app development. And ninth module is big data and AI services, which are present in the GCP. And module 10 is automation. As you can clearly see, the topics are covered in such a way that by the end of your learning journey, you will be an industry ready professional and who is proficient in using the various services and implement it for your project requirements on the Google Cloud platform. Okay, so here in this scenario, okay, so that is in today's session. The first thing that we want to understand is what exactly is this Google Data Studio? Now, when we talk about the digital marketing, data is everything. So data is pretty basic when we talk about the digital marketing. So by understanding the data, it will help you to create more efficient strategies because it brings the valuable information about the market, your customer, your competitors, and your own company. However, when you're working on the big data, it gives us a lot of challenge. So the challenge is how to work with this infinite amount of data which is provided by the internet. So one of the way to deal with this kind of scenario is like dedicating yourself to the field of data visualization, which will help you to organize the data in a visual manner. And by creating the data in a visual format, you'll be able to use it to achieve your goal. And that's the main goal of this Google Data Studio. So the Google Data Studio is a powerful tool for creating the report as well as dashboard, which you can use it to analyze present marketing result and as well as making the better decision. So based on the real data and the reliable information that you have got, you can actually make more informed choices. So this Google Data Studio is a relative newcomer in the world of data visualization and the reporting tools. This Data Studio was created by Google in the year of 2016, and it has been gaining a lot of traction these days. It's a free tool that is available to us for creation of beautiful as well as the customizable, interactive and responsive dashboard. So using this, we can build panels from the template and we can actually create the most diverse graphs, and it is running on cloud. Okay, and there's no setup involved, and you can create the interactive reports in a quick and an easier manner. And here, this is much more user friendly over here. So that means it is very easy for us to work with this product of Google Data Studio. So all in all, I can say this is a business intelligence tool which transforms the raw data into a strategic information for the companies to use. So through this data visualization, the Data Studio gathers metrics and the indicators that support decision and the strategy making so that as a company, you will be reducing the risk and achieve your goal. So this Google Data Studio is actually part of Google Marketing Platform Toolkit, which offers various other resources to help you and to assist you in marketing of small and large companies. Here, using this Google Data Studio, you can generate the reports and you can get the Google ad metrics for an e-commerce. So all these that you can do with the help of this Google Studio. So now that you have understood what exactly is this Google Studio, let's have a look into the benefits of using this Google Studio. One key benefit is you will have unlimited widgets and options. There is no limitation on that. And you can pull the data from multiple sources. And you can share the Data Studio reports in a quick and an easier manner. So you will be able to create easy to read reports for everyone, and you'll be able to get the dynamic reporting, build the interactive experiences, and use Data Studio free templates, which will help you to kickstart your creation of reports. And you can also learn more with free Google Data Studio tutorials to learn more about this overall functionalities behind this Google Data Studio. And here, while working, there are some key features of this Google Data Studio. So here, one of the main reason that Google Data Studio is currently used is, so Google Data Studio can be used to it can be actually used in several areas of company, because business intelligence must permeate all the fields and it should be present in the overall the team's daily lives. So here in this scenario, if I take the example as marketing, so what you have to do is, using the data set, you have to perform the analysis, you'll have to plan better strategies, and you have to optimize the campaigns that you are currently running in your organization. So if I take that example as a marketing field, so Google Studio help you to analyze the data. So whenever we create any report and dashboards in this Google Data Studio, so it has got an easy to use web interface, and we can use this web interface for performing the data analysis. And when we talk about the marketing analytics, it's very important to have a tool that consolidates the data from variety of sources, which will allow us the deeper analysis. Now with this tool, we can also evaluate the data from the website, e-commerce sales, performance in paid media, engagement in social media, growth of your competitors, among the other elements that you can actually analyze the data. And using this Google Data Studio, you can also make use of report templates and get the kickstart in building the reports. You can make use of various data connectors, which will help you to connect the data from multiple sources and perform the deeper analysis. You can monitor the performance metric. So by using the Google's Data Studio, you can also monitor the performance metric for your strategies throughout the overall campaigns. And then you can also display the result. So using this Google Data Studio, you can actually display the results in a visual and an interactive manner so that it is easier to process and understand. Okay, that's the overall key features of this Google Data Studio. So here, the reason that we want to use this Google Data Studio, because so among the various business analytics tools that we have got in the market, it is very important to group the data from various sources and centralize them in a single platform in order to generate the insights and support the decision. And that's where the BI tools comes into picture. Generally, these BI tools helps you to get a broad view on the performance of the digital marketing. Here, when we talk about the team members, okay, generally team members can collaboratively edit and interact with the reports and customize the view with variety of features. So by doing like this, the user can actually interact with the data, filter and download it and perform their action. So by doing like this, they no longer have to keep sending the static and the bloated reports via email, which can actually become lost or it might become out of date. So with this scenario of getting the real-time data, so Google Data Studio, which is being a free tool with a crazy amount of features that is offered from this Google Data Studio, which is an easy to use solution. It will help you to save the time in reporting. Now, while working with this Google Data Studio, here in general, it works like the platform which collects the data from various different other sources so that you are able to create the graph, table, and visual representations. So from there, you can actually work with the metrics and the dimensions to create the dashboard according to your given business goal. Now, once you create the reports, it is possible for you to share them with the other users as well. Now, coming to the data integration, the Google Data Studio, as I mentioned when I talked about the features, it uses the data connectors in order to collect the information from various other platforms and perform the consolidation. So the various data sources that are supported by Google Data Studio is this. Okay, so it says you can access from 800 plus data sets from over 720 data connectors. So if you look into this scenario, you can have a data from various connectors that are available. Some of them are Google Analytics, Google Sheets, Google Ads, BigQuery, AppSheet, File Upload, Google Ad Manager, Google Surveys, PostGRE SQL, MySQL, YouTube Analytics. There are also partner connectors that are available. We've got Funnel, Shopify. There are various connectors that are available, which will help us to get the data from various data sources. And the another step when we talk about the extracting the data is data transformation. So transformation is a step where we will transform the raw data into more complete and a meaningful information. So when you talk about the numbers, the loose numbers can be quite uninteresting and sometimes it would cause confusion as well. So here, whenever we are loading the data, the Google Data Studio tries to transform this data into more basic elements, which generates the information from graphs and the table. And then they become the business intelligence for your business. So to help you do this, the tool offers an explorer, and this feature help you to work with the data set and add the dimension and apply the mathematical function like arithmetic operator and custom formulas to transform it into the useful values. So with the Explorer, you can also perform free experiments for further data analysis as well. Now, while working, you can think of it as a notepad. It works like a notepad. And to work privately, unlike reports, which are collaborative, it's also a good choice to familiarize yourself with this platform before you create any proper report. And another benefit of using this Google Data Studio is data visualization. So this Google Data Studio provides the various diverse types of chart like the tables, time series, bar graph, pie chart. So it will provide me with various data sources as well. And the lastly, sharing. So sharing of data is very easy and it would also allow you to have a real-time collaboration. Okay, this is about a quick idea about this Google Data Studio. Now let's go ahead and let's see how to work with this Google Data Studio. So in order to access this Google Data Studio, you need to have a Google account. So the page of this Google Data Studio looks something like this. This is a page which is the URL is lookerstudio.google.com. So this is the URL to access the Google Data Studio. Okay, on the left hand side, if we've got a menu. So using this menu, you can navigate between the reports which you have recently opened or which has been created or shared with you. And on top, we've got the menu, which will allow us to navigate between the reports, data sources, and files from the Explorer. Okay. Now, while working, we can also add the data sources. So in order to add the data source, so what we can do is we can actually click on create and select the data source. Okay, so this is the pop-up that we get. So here in this pop-up, we can just, since I'm running it for the first time for the demonstration, it's asking me to set the country. I'll just mention the country as India, and I'll mention it as company as demo. Okay, I'll click on continue. And okay, so here, yeah, this is the page where I can select the platform that I want to integrate with Google Data Studio. So here, like on the upper left, we've got a name over here. We can also name the data source. I'll say example data source. And I can select the various data sources that I want to do. Now for the demonstration purpose, I'll select as Google Sheets. And here it says authorize. I'm going to perform the authorization. Okay, so this will help me to load the scenarios. Like it will help me to load the data from the Google spreadsheets or the Google Sheets. Okay, that's how I can load the data from the Google Sheets. So there is a sheet over here, which is a sheet one, which is called as converting a non-stationary plot to stationary plot. I can just select the same and I can click on connect, and this will help me to uh, like connect that sheet. Okay, that's how I can create a data source. I'll click on back. Okay, so that's how we can actually do it. Now I'll come back to my previous page. So here, once that is done, we can actually create a report in Data Studio. So in order to create a report in Data Studio, I'll click on create and I'm going to say report. So this is a window for creation of report. So first thing it's going to ask me is select the data sources for the report. So if you have already added them in the previous scenario, so you can actually directly go to the my data sources. Okay, so under the my data sources, there's a lot of demo data which is also available to us. Okay, so if you want, you can also connect to your existing data. So I'll just click on the my data sources and you can select any example data for your purpose. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'll just go ahead and I'll select the word population data and I'll click on add. So it says you are about to add the data to this report. I'll click on add to report. So this is going to add the report. Okay, this is going to add the data to this report. So here you can add the report. Okay, and on the top option you can see the various ways that you can, like you've got the various ways of editing. For example, you can add a chart as well. Okay, you can click on this option and say add a chart, and you can select the type of chart as per your requirement, and you can also look into all the possibilities. So you can click on the time series, and you can mention the data source, and you can say what are the data that you want to create the visualization for. So like this, you can add the data. You can add the chart for creation of visualization. You can also click on the option that says add a control. Here you can click on this add a control to insert a dynamic control option by the user for viewing the report. Okay, so then a drop down list, the date range control, tick box. So you can actually add all these scenarios right here. Okay, you can add the date range control when the user is trying to visualize something. Okay, so like you can just provide all these things. Like let's say you can create a report, and if the user selects some range, okay, then you'll have the ability to display only those information. So that's the overall way in which that you can control the same. Okay. And you can also do a lot of things, guys. So there's also something called as theme and layout. See, there is something called as theme and layout. So you will find the various report themes that are available. You can use it and you can modify it and you can create it as per your requirement. Okay, you can make use of all these themes. You can change it. You can decide the layout. So you can do all sort of stuff over here. Now, if you want to share it, there's an option to share over here on the left hand side. So you can click on this share, and by clicking on the share, you'll be able to invite the other users via email. You can copy the link, embed a report, or also you can download it as PDF. So you can say download report and you can download as PDF as well. Okay, so you can download it as PDF as well. See, I've downloaded the report as a PDF. Now, I'll just say example report. Okay, next, let's see how to use the Explorer. So Explorer is a feature that we have got. So Explorer is currently aimed to work with the data and make the analysis and then go ahead with the reports. So you can use this Explorer to explore the data of some channel and add the dimension as part of your requirement and perform more in-depth analysis. It's not a mandatory step before you create a report. It's just the additional report for you or the additional steps for you. Okay, so it says create. I'll click on the Explorer. This is still in beta. Okay, it is asking me to select a data source. I can select any data source. So this is the first thing. We have to select the data source before we start exploring. And now, once we select the data source, we can see the various types of charts that are available on the right hand side. And we can also have the various data like dimensions. What are the dimensions that we have got on this data set? Now, if you want to filter the chart data, so you can select the chart as well, and you can create a visualization like this. See, you've got a lot of options right here. Okay, this is the example of table with bars. Okay, so you can copy the chart to the existing report and create a new one from the Explorer area. So you can also save it. Okay, you can do all these things. Like you can share it over here, click on the share and look into the various options that are available for you to share. So that's the overall idea. Like you can actually share it by adding it into a report. Okay, so that's the overall idea about working with Google Data Studio. As you can clearly see, it's one of the easier way to get started, to work with the data, create the beautiful visualization, and start performing the analysis. And this is one of the free software. So which means you don't have to pay. If you are having any data and do any analysis, you can directly go ahead and work with the same. Okay, and while working, okay, so I'll just come back over here. Okay, there is something called as a template. So here with this template, this will remove a scenario of reinventing the wheel. So here, when you are starting with Google Data Studio, I personally recommend you to browse their template for the inspiration. So you just go ahead and look into the creator as well, who is actually the creator. So many templates were built by this like Google Data Studios team. Okay, and there are also various other submissions will keep on happening right now. You can select the category and you can actually get to know about the various template options that are available right now. Okay, so let me just give you an example. Here, if I select this word population data, this is a template created from the word population data set. See, it clearly says, and it is interactive. It's a complete creation of the visualization from this data. So I can click on edit and share, and I can add to report and I can start working over here. Okay, so I can just go ahead and working with the data. Now, like this, we can get started from the template and get a quick boost while working, and that will help us in saving the time. All right. Now, while working and when you have a report that you have created, you can also create a scheduled reports. Okay. You can create a scheduled delivery of reports as and when you would require. And you can also download as report, send an automatic email, specify the date range and everything. So that's how you would normally work, and you can add the filters as well while working. So this is about the basic tutorial of Google Data Studio. So as part of our learning journey today, you have understood what exactly is this Data Studio, how to create the reports using Data Studio, and how easy it is to work. So with this, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.